Look, just on Victoria's Belt and Road initiative, One Belt, One Road initiative, you were one of the first politicians to come out publicly and call for this to, be stopped and not go ahead. Dan Andrews has taken a very firm position. He's not backing down. What's your view on this?
Well, I think it's very, very concerning. It's quite clear now that Victoria has acted against advice. The fact that Victoria would not release the advice it received from DFAT, it's fairly evident that it was counselled not to enter into the BRI. Of course, there are two separate agreements, and the agreement entered into in October last year relates to Victoria's infrastructure program. And the remarks of the US Secretary of State today, of course, we've seen some clarification from the US Ambassador, but he has really raised the bar in expressing very, very deep concerns about Daniel Andrews' decision to enter into the Belt and Road Initiative agreement. It's absolutely not in our national interest. I mean, Peter Dutton made that very, very clear in September and October last year when this agreement was inked. And there is now increasing concern, resonating now in the United States about Daniel Andrews', I have to say, quite foolish decision to enter into this agreement, and very poor backbone from
Is there anything that can be done, though? Is there anything that the federal government can do on this matter?
Well, I've called on Victorian federal MPs, Labor MPs, to take a stand against this agreement. We've seen Kimberley Kitching come out and say this is bad policy and bad optics, but frankly, very disappointing. We've seen a pathetic response from the likes of Richard Marles and the other Victorian MPs. I mean, Richard Marles almost embraced this BRI on the basis that he would consider this on a case-by-case basis. There's absolutely no doubt that this is part of China's global foreign strategy to encroach itself into other countries and to cause harm.
But basically nothing the federal government can do at all to put a stop to it?
Well, I'm not in a position to make a comment along those lines. I think obviously we've seen increasing concern from our government in relation to Daniel Andrews' decision. He should simply not be interfering in foreign policy. And I think we've seen some, as I say, increasing concerns from the Prime Minister about this decision.